What's going on, everybody? It's Dan, Box Spring Blood. Today is not going to be a review, it's going to be more of a story. I've seen some people post videos of these, and I think they're pretty cool to hear everybody's stories. I'm going to be posting my story today. This story will be about the first time I vaped in front of my family, or the first time that my parents or anyone found out that I vaped. So, this is only going to be like a really short story. It's going to be like half a story, because there's only half a story to tell so far. So, I'm going to start with the story of when my parents found out that I was vaping / smoking. So, I got home one day, and I just gotten back from a 7-Eleven. I was like 17 at the time, and I bummed a cigarette off of someone, and I smoked a cigarette at 7-Eleven. And tried to air it off myself, but it didn't really work that well. I walked in the house, and my dad said, "Hey, Dan," stopped me, and he went, "Oh man, Dan, you smell like cigarettes." And I said, "Oh, well, that's just because I was walking into 7-Eleven, and there were like 6 guys outside. They were all smoking, and they were like chain smoking one after another, and I got caught in the breeze, and that's why I smell like cigarettes." He kind of just brushed it off. He's like, "Okay, sure." And then like a year or two passed, and I got home. I was smoking a cigarette, and I walked inside, took off my jacket, went downstairs, watched some TV. And then my mom walked downstairs into the basement where I was watching TV. And I paused the TV and I said, "Hey Mom, what's up?" And she's like, "Hey Dan, I just wanted to ask you a quick question. Can you explain to me why your jacket smells like cigarettes?" And from then I knew, oh man, I'm fucked. Like, there's nothing else I can say. And so I said, well, I've kind of been smoking some cigarettes. And she said, "Oh, all right, well, I mean, your dad's not going to be happy. You know, you don't have good enough lungs to be smoking. You have asthma and all that shit." So I'm like, "Yeah, I know. I'm trying to stop." So I walk upstairs. My dad's like, "So, damn, how long you been smoking cigarettes?" And I'm like, "Not long. Definitely under a year." It was under a year at that point. So he said, "Okay, I mean, well, I used to smoke cigarettes, and so I'm not going to be a hypocrite, tell you to stop smoking. But obviously, if you're going to smoke, you can never smoke in the house. We don't want to know if you're still smoking." So he was chill about it, but at that point, I still just wanted to stop smoking. So I've stopped smoking, and I'm going to rewind a little bit to my parents first found out about something. So my mom, I bought one of the Enjoy pens that you can buy like a 7-Eleven, and I was vaping it, and I was in the basement, and I fell asleep, and I put it on there before I put it on the end table before I fell asleep. And my mom walked down at like 10 o'clock at night. It's like, "Dan, wake up, you fell asleep, go to bed." And she stopped, and she found the e-cig on the table, and she's like, "Dan, what is this?" And I'm like, it's an e-cig. I thought I would try it." She's like, "All right, well, this is not healthy for you. I don't think you should keep doing it." And I said, "Okay," and I threw it in the trash, and I was stupid. I just threw it in the trash. But it was stupid anyway. It was a bad pen, so I just knocked it off anyway. So more recently, it was sometime last year, I think. My mom was dropping me off at college because I didn't have my car then, because I was still a freshman. She stopped me and said, "Dan, are you still smoking? Like, are you still smoke?" I smoked a little bit of weed at that point. She's like, "Dan, are you still smoking weed?" And I said, "No, Mom, I've stopped smoking weed," which I have. I haven't smoked weed in over a year. Weed is not for me. I don't like weed, so I stopped smoking weed. So I'm like, "No, Mom, I've stopped smoking weed." It's like, "Okay, are you still smoking cigarettes?" And I'm like, "No, Mom, I've stopped smoking cigarettes. I've been off cigarettes for a few months now." She's like, "Okay, well, you're using like e-cigs?" And I'm like, "Honestly, Mom, yes, I'm still using e-cigs." And she said, "Okay, well, I prefer you use those to cigarettes anyway." And that was the end of that. So today, actually, earlier today, when my dad picked me up, I thought, you know what? I don't want to hide this any longer. I'm going to vape in front of my dad. So I have a Views e-cig. I had the charger, but I didn't have a packet of flavors. So I went in, I made him stop at a stop place so I can, like a convenience store, so I can get, I don't know, like a candy bar and like a green tea. And I also bought a pack of the Views cartridges. So we got in the car, I whipped him out, loaded it up, and I started doing a few little puffs near him. And he didn't say anything at all. So I'm like, okay, he's cool with it. He knows that I've stopped smoking and that I'm using these. So then, when we got home, I was still vaping on it on the couch. He still didn't say anything. So I thought, all right, I'm gonna see how far I can go with this. So I pulled out my box. And I unscrewed it and I started filling it up. He's like, "Oh, Dan, come on, dude. Like that thing is huge. Like, why are you using that thing?" I'm like, "It's so much better. He's like, I can control my nicotine intake with it." And he's like, "You shouldn't be using nicotine at all." But like, "I'm sure you get fat clouds with that." I'm like, "Dad, you don't even know the half of it." So I pulled it out, I fired it up, blew him a huge cloud, and he was like, his mind was blown. So I'm like, "Here, Dad, try it." And my dad only, he quit smoking a few years ago. He uses like Kangertech pens with like 18 nicotine, like barely any body. So he holds the button down, takes like a really small, like straight to mouth hit. I'm like, "Dad, you're doing it wrong." So I didn't want to make sure he didn't like cough or anything. He's like, "No, that's way too strong for me. Like, just be careful with that. You can do some damage with that." And he said, like, drastically, "Don't let your mother see." So my mom hasn't seen me using these things. I don't even know if she knows I still use e-cigs, which I do, but I still try to keep it hidden in the house. My dad knows now. My little brother and my mother don't know. I don't want my little brother to know at all. I don't want him to get into any bad behavior, because then I'll feel like a hypocrite telling him to stop. My mom, I just don't want her to freak out, because I know she's going to give me a huge, like, a long-ass lecture about it, and at the end of the lecture, I'm still going to continue to vape. So my mom and my brother don't know. I'm going to try to wean it onto my mom a little bit. I don't know how soon, but eventually I'm going to wean it onto my mom. Address the fact that I do vape quite profusely, actually. Maybe at a big family gathering or something, if everyone's outside smoking, maybe I'll bring this along. Maybe I'll just start with a pen and work up from there like I did with my dad. But for now, my dad is the only one that really knows that I vape like this. Like, I told him that, like, I'm really into vaping, that I'm really good with vaping, and he's just like, "Okay, whatever, you do you, be careful, be safe, don't tell your mother." So yeah, I'm still pretty nervous about it. If I do vape in the house, I make sure to hide it. I don't care who it is. Like, if I hear someone like knocking on my door in my room, or going downstairs to get something, I'm gonna clear away the smoke and put it in my pocket. I don't care who it is. I'm still gonna keep it hidden from them. If I am vaping, I'm sure they don't want me doing a whole lot of it in the house. So just to be respectful to them, I'll hide it whenever they're around. Except if it's just me and my dad home alone, I'll probably just vape a little bit, but I'm not gonna be like chucking clouds everywhere. I'll probably just be using a pen. But yeah, guys, for now, that is my vaping story, about the first time my parents ever found out that I vaped. If at any point any other family members find out, and my mom finds out I'm trying to wean it onto my mother, I'll tell you about that. This video is already longer than I wanted it to be, so I'm just gonna end. I'm sorry I wasn't vaping a whole lot during that time. I'm actually out right now. I just had to go run some errands for them. I don't want to be really late. They'll be wondering why I was so late. I was only supposed to get like water, paper towels, plastic cups. Anyway, guys, that's my story. I hope you like it. If you want to hear any other kind of stories, any other wacky stories I may have, leave a comment below. Tell me what you think. Tell me what you thought of this video. Any other reviews you want to see in the future, also, just let me know. Send me a comment down below. If you want to send me anything, I will give you an address to send me stuff to. Otherwise, guys, thank you very much for watching this video. Today is the day before Thanksgiving, so tomorrow I hope you all have a fantastic Thanksgiving and an even better Black Friday the next day. Have a great day, guys. I will end you on a vape, as always. Keep it cool. See you.